Good afternoon from the KUOW newsroom. This is Seattle Now. I'm Paige Browning with the roundup of today's top stories. It's Tuesday, September 2nd. Seattle is suing Glock, the gun manufacturer known for plastic-bodied handguns. Seattle City Attorney Ann Davison is suing Glock and 3 Seattle-area gun stores for selling devices that can turn these pistols into automatic weapons. Davison says an illegally converted Glock can fire as many as 30 bullets in 2 seconds. Davison's office claims that 3 people who were fatally shot in Pioneer Square in May were likely hit by rounds from converted Glock firearms. To get light rail expanded on time, Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell announced today the city is willing to help speed up the process. He and other Seattle transit advocates rallied at a news conference today, urging for the expansion to West Seattle and Ballard to continue full steam ahead. Kirk Hovenkotter is with the Transportation Choices Coalition.
The message from voters, riders, and the public is clear. Build the damn trains.
Their comments are coming over concerns about light rail getting delayed because last week Sound Transit announced the price to expand light rail could balloon to an additional $30 billion. Harrell, who's under pressure to deliver on transit because of the upcoming Men's World Cup and a competitive race for mayor, says Seattle is willing to expedite permits and lend the city's own engineering and planning employees. On immigration today, Washington Congresswoman Emily Randall says she'll keep showing up at the ICE detention center in Tacoma to try and see 2 firefighters who were recently arrested while working on the Bear Gulch fire. She posted an Instagram video over the weekend after trying to visit.
I'm going on one of what has become a regular series of oversight visits to make sure that detainees in this facility have adequate healthcare access, are able to talk to their lawyers, are getting access to the outside, are having their needs met.
Randall says she was denied entry into the privately run facility Saturday, even though she has congressional authority to conduct unannounced oversight visits. Border Patrol agents say the 2 men do not have legal status in the U.S., but at least one of their attorneys disputes that. Family members of people killed in Boeing plane crashes will make one more plea for criminal charges against the company. Tomorrow, they plan to ask a federal judge to throw out a deal between the company and the U.S. Justice Department. That agreement lets Boeing escape criminal prosecution for the 737 MAX crashes in 2018 and 2019 that killed 346 people. But some relatives of crash victims say the deal lets Boeing off the hook and attempts to buy off families. A whistleblower is suing Seattle City Light, accusing the agency of retaliating against her for coming forward about widespread drinking on the job and sexual assault. Her complaint spurred a lengthy investigation that ended in the city firing 5 people and disciplining 29 others. The Seattle Times reports the worker now accuses City Light of leaking her name and says that led to a hostile work environment from her coworkers. News to share with those needing help. A state crisis hotline focused on Indigenous communities now has texting and online messaging services. The Native and Strong Lifeline has counselors who are all Native who are prepared to help with all kinds of problems. Mariah Thompson is with the crisis hotline.
It can range from suicidal ideation to just extreme anxiety and panic attacks to sexual abuse, or we just have sometimes some amazing people that call in, some little old elders who want to just talk.
Now that the Lifeline can receive texts, she hopes more people will feel comfortable coming forward and typing out how they're feeling. According to the state health department, Indigenous communities have the highest rates of suicide of any racial or ethnic group in the U.S. To message an Indigenous counselor, text N8V to 988. In some travel news today, you may notice more shepherds and doodles on your next Washington State ferry ride. As Noelle Gasca reports, a new trial program gives dogs more access to ferries.
For the next 6 months, Washington State Ferries is piloting an updated pet policy and allowing dogs on leashes in all passenger areas, except food galleys. The change is welcomed by Bridget Igo, who was traveling on the passenger ferry Walla Walla with her 2 daughters and the family's 2-year-old Aussie doodle, Junie.
It's wonderful because she doesn't like being in the car, and we would never just leave her in the car, so it enables all of us to come up and enjoy the ferry, and she does a lot better.
Smaller dogs like Junie can sit on their owner's lap or in a carrier. Bigger dogs will have to settle for the floor. The policy will be reviewed in February, and officials are encouraging feedback to help decide if the temporary change should become permanent. Noelle Gasca, KUOW News.
A couple of business notes today, only one of them about the business of dolls. First, Amazon is the latest to crack down on families and friends who share subscriptions. The tech giant is ending a program that allows Prime members to share their free shipping benefits with people who don't have the same primary address. That's going away October 1st. And a Labubu crackdown in Seattle. Customs and Border Protection officers recently seized more than 11,000 counterfeit Labubu dolls. If you're not familiar, these are hairy, ugly, cute plush dolls that have exploded in popularity and demand worldwide. That's also paved the way for counterfeiters to turn a profit. Customs officials found the knockoffs called Lafufus at SeaTac Airport, and they're valued at approximately $500,000. A CPB spokesperson says the dolls will be destroyed. Next time on Seattle Now, it is expensive to be a musician in Seattle.
We save the money that we receive from playing live shows and put it into a band fund.
Oh.
And then we spend all that money
on stuff.
This week, one band will get a break when they get to play a big stage and have their live show pressed into vinyl at no cost to them. We'll hear from the band Rub, the first recipient of the Live at the Neptune grant Wednesday morning. And that's all for today from the KUOW Newsroom in Seattle. Our producer is Andy Hurst, and I'm Paige Browning. Seattle Now and KUOW are members of the NPR network. See ya.